start on my end. Audio recording. All right, cool. What topic did you want to? Do we want to get into it?
Last time we talked about animals.
Yeah, I think we finally hit the animal one, so we can leave that the fuck alone. Fine.
So the three things I have on my list are drugs, capitalism versus socialism, and virtual worlds. I don't know if we had any other topics that we could add to this, but I'm open to ideas.
I had the socialism versus capitalism thing. I had drugs. I had anime. I had marriage and proposals. I had immortality, and then I had like different podcasts.
All right, cool. I added those to my list. I don't think we're ready for the anime one. I watched the first 3 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist. So I'm gonna need to binge my way through that. So I'll probably finish by the end of the weekend because once it's weekend time, I can properly binge. Do some chores.
So yeah, I haven't started watching any of them yet. I'm gonna. How many episodes are there in the original? Because I know the brother 64 or something.
I have no idea. I'm guessing around like 20.
I think 20. No, more than 20. I think the original has like about like 50 something, but I don't know the exact amount.
Okay.
Actually, I have the fucking Blu-ray disc right next to me. Let me figure it out here. This is obviously not including the movie, which is kind of.
I never watched the movie.
The movie is very connected to it. It's like at the end of the original. Oh, it's 51 episodes, all right. At the end of the original, like, fucking Edward gets lost in like Germany or something, like real world Germany, and then they got to find their ways back home. It's like a whole thing. So I'd say at the end of that, like, try to find the movie if you can.
So I keep getting on my TweetB movie account. I keep getting tagged in posts where people are just like talking about a bee, like a team mascot or something, and then they tag me, and then other bee related accounts. It's so weird.
Like a bot doing it, or like a real person?
Like a real person. They're making some posts like fan art for their sports team that they like, and the mascot happens to be a bee, and then they tag me in it for some reason. They don't follow me. It's just that's what came up when they searched for bee, probably.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. It's kind of cool, I guess, too. Like, oh yeah, sure, I guess, whatever.
Yeah.
Hope you're not hoping for a comment on that.
Yeah, I usually respond, but just something silly like the bee emoji. Okay.
Yeah.
Marriage and proposals, immortality, different podcasts.
Should we just have this be the intro? We just make the whole podcast about what we decided to talk about. You're kind of like that bee story, so I kind of want that one in the episode.
I don't know. We've got this list. We can just pick what's most interesting to us at the time. Does anything stand out to you?
Yeah, like you said, we can't do the anime one, which I don't mind. Did you want to do the podcast one yet or no?
We can.
All right. So for those at home, hey, welcome to the random rambling. I almost said the other one. Welcome to Random Ramblings. Episode 8. Is it?
I think 8. Yeah, 8 or 9. This is 8, I think.
Yeah, you can tell. The more we do these, the more it's just going to become whatever it's this. All right, so yeah, one of the topics I had thought of is like a hashtag thoughts in the shower moment. It wasn't actually in the shower, but one of those type of thought process things.
Yeah.
We talked about other podcasts we had heard before, ones we liked, ones we disliked, ones they're like about, just other podcasts in general. The podcast.
The podcast.
Yeah, the Pogcast. That has to exist somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. A podcast about podcasts.
No, well, that too, but I mean like someone calling their podcast the Pogcast.
Oh, the Pogcast. Yeah. Podcast. Pogcast. I have to put it in quotes because Google's trying to autocorrect me here.
Yeah.
The Pogcast. Yeah. Yep. It exists.
Yeah.
Spotify. Nice. And Apple Podcasts.
And
SoundCloud.
But yeah, I guess obviously, like, we've heard our own podcast because we make it, and then you listen back for the editing and stuff, and I listen back for the timestamps and stuff. But I guess we could probably go with the biggest one you and I both definitely have seen is the official podcast from Moist Critical, Charlie Penguin Zero,
Oh
and his
man.
wacky gang of friends.
Before unrelated to that, but I'm looking through the Pogcast on Spotify, and this actually looks really
Yeah.
interesting. I might check it out.
Ooh,
They're talking about crypto and engineering and stuff like that.
nice.
So as you were saying, sorry.
I was just saying the official podcast. I know you've seen it, at least some of it, and I know I've seen it. I've seen every episode.
Yeah.
And I saw some of their bonus stuff too. I was like back when I was still on Patreon, before I closed my account. Like that was one I gave them $1 one time, and I just binged through a bunch of their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the show quite a bit. Like I guess that with the what was it with Kaya at first, I definitely didn't like him. Like he seemed like a bit of a dick.
Wait,
but
with who?
Kaya.
Is that person related to what's his face? The Onision?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Oh, okay. So this is someone else.
Yeah, the official podcast. You know
Yeah.
the like
Charlie.
lower voice Turkish, kind of. I don't know if smug's the right word. Smug's probably not the right word, but like.
Is he the guy with kind of the German accent?
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
he lives in Germany now. But yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Swagger might be the right word.
He's
like an
talkative. He's talkative.
Yeah. Like but yeah, I remember initially like not liking him in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
just because he's pretty. I don't know what the right word is. Like he'll say an opinion, and it's like he's like steadfast in that opinion.
Yeah.
Like, even if I think it's stupid, I guess. And not that happens too much, but like that was just the first introduction, right? And so it was kind of like, oh, this guy like. But over listening like a lot more, like I said, I've seen every episode. I like him quite a bit more now. And
Yeah.
I mean, all really, like to the point where like it's like you see them in other content on the channel. It's like, okay, cool. Like I have no problem watching content with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess that'd be kind of the weird thing. I mean, because I imagine like if this podcast were to blow up enough, our own. Like I wonder if that's the type of thing that would happen. Because I feel like that's the type of thing that happens on the Twitter accounts, in the sense that like, oh hey, here people follow the B movie and the Shrek movie, and then they rightfully don't give a shit about the movies they don't care about.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't blame them either. I mean, there's certain accounts like I follow all the accounts on my Tweeting X accounts just because like community, right?
Yep.
On my personal account, there's quite a few of them I don't follow because it's like I just like I don't know what this property is. I don't care about it.
Yeah.
It's like whatever.
Yep.
So I wonder like if we end up getting like big enough on this podcast, I wonder if that kind of effect would happen. Like say the random ramblings listeners, they're just like, oh, we just want to listen to like themes and B.
I think whenever we expand to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and stuff, we could definitely just make separate series, so that we have like our audiences more contained on those platforms. Because we're not going to put every random thing from YouTube there anyway. Just the two main series probably.
Yeah. Yeah, because most of the other series wouldn't, like the Smash series and stuff wouldn't work.
Soundboard
Like,
Mayhem.
the tournaments wouldn't. Probably the ranking ones wouldn't work really either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they kind of do, but like I feel like a lot of the fun part of ranking videos is seeing the actual ranking.
Yeah.
Kind of the whatever.
Well, I should have better audio in about a month, because once my LLC paperwork goes through, I'll get a business bank account, and then I'll use that business bank account to get a better mic, which is probably going to be the Blue Yeti.
Sponsored by
Blue Yeti.
Do they do sponsorships on YouTube?
I haven't seen one specifically.
Maybe. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I don't know. Like I can't think of a time where I've actually seen a specific sponsorship.
Yeah, I haven't seen a sponsorship, but a lot of streamers use it. So, and podcasters.
you should check around and see if you can find one. It's always good to try to get things cheaper.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
But
well, I
anyway,
have honey, sponsored by Honey.
yeah. Dude, okay. So you use Honey? How is that? Like, how did they get money off of that? That's always the thing that's kind of like sketching me out about using Honey.
I think they use affiliate codes and split the affiliate revenue with the creator, I think.
Yeah.
Is how they work. How does Honey make money? Yeah,
You know
so
what I mean?
they make commissions from merchant partners. So let's see who those merchant
Okay.
partners are. I guess that's like Macy's and Amazon and Sephora and all that. Yep.
Yeah, because if someone uses a code, obviously the code would go back to the company like, hey, this is a...
Oh, okay. I see how this works. So basically they're an affiliate. And so they made an app around the fact that they're an affiliate.
All right, that's cool. I might actually put in that browser extension then, because that's kind of like huge reason I've been holding off on never getting it.
Yeah.
Obviously, people sing the praises quite a bit. I've just been kind of like, like
There's
I don't know, like
there's another one I use for Amazon specifically. Let me see what it's called. The one that I use for Amazon specifically is called Fake Spot. And it fake spot, FAKE spot. And it's basically to detect reviews that indicate that there's something fishy going on.
Oh, that's cool.
And so, like, if there's fake products or something, you can avoid those.
Yeah, because that'd be useful.
Yeah, and there's a big fake product issue on Amazon.
Well, yeah. What was it? There's like one time we ordered something from like somebody one time, and it never came.
Mm-hmm.
And the person was like a complete like scam, like new startup, scammed a bunch of people, and then like never paid them off, type of deal. And we got our money back. Amazon's pretty good about the refund policy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, I think I've been lucky not to have any fake products shipped to me yet that I know of. But I'm always watching out for that, like in the reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's annoying because some of the reviews too, like, depending on like the bigger products, it'll be like, okay, this review is for like isn't on the product in general, it's on this company that's selling it. As like when there's a bunch of companies selling the same product, it's like, okay, we'll just avoid this particular like a third party seller.
Yeah, fulfilled by Amazon. I think that's where the seller sends their inventory to Amazon, and then Amazon ships it to the customer.
Yeah, I remember one time it was what was it? I got the NES top loader, the one where you like the little one, and you just put the cartridge in the top, just because like it works better because it's more connected to it. Like it doesn't have the issues that the big fat NES has.
We really need an Amazon-like store for 3D printed goods that's kind of on the same level of scale. There are a few sites where you can like order something to be sent to you that's 3D printed, but it needs to be a little bit more accessible, I think, before that's mainstream.
Yeah.
But that's gonna give a lot of people jobs, hopefully, if there's demand for 3D printed objects.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't there be, right? Because it's, I guess, I don't know about the, I know there's some issues in terms of the, I don't know if strength's the right word, but in terms of like the durability of some of those. But at the same time, like, there's a lot of people that don't really care about that. Like, that's important for like certain things, but not as other.
Yeah.
If I'm like, oh, hey, can I get like a 3D printed like a statue's not the right word, but like a toy something
figurine,
right? Figurine, yeah. Like, I mean, does it, as long as it doesn't like fall apart on me, does it really matter if it's like the sturdiest thing in the world?
Yep, and those kinds of things are a really good use case in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think more structural stuff like tools or something, you would need a print with a stronger material. which there are printers that do that, but they're a little bit more expensive. So maybe that's an even better use case, because there would be higher demand for something that has a high startup cost.
Yeah. So podcast, remember that?
Yeah. Have you seen Bill Gates's podcast?
No, I didn't know you had one.
He has one with Rashida Jones.
Yeah, that name sounds kind of familiar.
She was from Parks and Rec, and I'm trying to think of what else she was in. She was definitely in Parks and Rec. Rashida Jones.
Does it sound bad if I've never seen the show before?
I mean, it's a good show. If you liked Community, I don't know if you ever seen Community.
I've seen a little bit of it. I will say I did like it a lot from the little bit I saw.
Yeah, it's similar to Community and it's similar to Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm actually just starting to watch that show right now. Like I'd seen an episode or two, right?
Oh,
and
nice.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, nice.
And so from there, like Netflix. So I just I already watched the first the first disc of season 1, which is like 5 episodes or something.
Mm-hmm.
6, something like that. And I like it quite a bit. Actually, I have the other disc too here right now because I have Netflix where they send the discs to you.
Yeah.
So disc 2 right now. So I was probably gonna watch that after we were done with the thing here.
But yeah, Rashida Jones is kind of plays the role of a pessimist on the show, and then Bill Gates is the optimist, and so they're talking about stuff like climate change, wealth inequality, stuff like that. So that's a really good podcast to check out. There's only a few episodes. I wish they'd release more. They released 5, and the last one was December, so I guess they canceled it. That's sad.
I mean, I don't know about her too much. I imagine she's busy in terms of like Hollywood stuff, but I imagine Bill Gates isn't exactly the sit around, lounge around guy.
Yeah, so maybe he doesn't have the disposable time.
Yeah, off in like Africa or whatever, changing weird drinking water or something.
Yeah.
Or if you listen to certain people on YouTube, probably off microchipping people or something.
I found this really cool podcast. It's
called the Holy Twerk.
No, it sounds like a teenager. I think he's in high school or something, but the podcast is called This Is Not a Podcast, the podcast. And it's really cleverly done. He just does a bunch of interviews with his friends and kind of edits it all together. There's dramatic music. And it's a really unique podcast, and it's like feature length with really good editing.
Oh, nice. And what he he started when he was in high school, or is he still in high school now?
Well, it's a fairly recent podcast. I think I discovered it about 5 months ago. Yeah, and they're only like 8 episodes in, 10 episodes in. Yeah, 10 episodes. Yeah, that's a good one.
Nice.
What are some that you listen to?
Okay, so one I'm gonna say one that I used to listen to because they don't do it anymore. Okay, I guess a little bit of a backstory. Did you ever watch on YouTube any Call of Duty content back in the day, back when that was really big?
Very little, not that much.
Okay, well there was one series on YouTube that was pretty big around that time called Good Griefing.
Yeah.
It's this group of dudes that played Call of Duty, and they would just run around grief people, right? Knifing people in gun game type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Or sitting there team killing, whatever, right? And these little kids would freak out on it. It was great.
Yeah.
So it's just recording their reaction. Well, anyway, so one of the main dudes behind that, what was his name? It's Kyle something. Anyway, he made a podcast with him and some of his friends. And I used to watch that quite a bit. It was called TPT. That's Pretty Tits.
Yeah.
Shockingly, probably didn't get much money off the off that naming thing. But yeah, they stopped doing it after a while. But yeah, I used to watch a lot of theirs. I watched every episode of that one. I liked it quite a bit.
That's interesting.
It's most podcasts where it's just current event stuff. They're kind of the with a name like that, you can probably get an idea of what type of dudes they were.
Yeah, whenever I Google that's pretty tits, like it's number 4 in the results, but the other top, like 3 out of the other 5 are porn.
Yeah.
So yeah, not great SEO.
Well, I mean, if you get distracted from the podcast and you end up watching porn, I mean, it's a win-win, right?
I guess. Yeah, they're at like 2K subscribers now.
Yeah, I imagine quite a bit of a drop off. Like I think they took a break for a while, and then they came back with like the election stuff from
Oh,
2016.
the channel has no videos, so they hid all the videos now.
Ooh, damn. Now it's just a relic.
Yep.
Now they only live on through my memory and through the Kyle dude I follow on Twitter.
Yep. Oh,
Anyway.
That's an interesting philosophical thing to think about. Like how long before the last bit of data about us is on the internet? Like after we die, how much longer will there be some trace that we existed on the internet? Because that's the luxury that people in previous generations didn't have.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on how I guess like what you've done.
Yeah.
Like usually,
well, I mean, like even someone that tweets, like they're around until Twitter is no longer a thing.
Right. And if people start archiving Twitter stuff, like
then those archives, yeah, and like the Library of Congress archives tweets.
Yeah, but they're not going to be archiving, like the time Tweet B movie said, like Buzz.
I mean, if they're archiving the whole thing, then why not, right?
Well, I mean, if they archive the entirety, but are they archiving the entirety?
Well, maybe all the text, but not the images and videos, because like a text-based Wikipedia is like on the order of gigabytes. It's not that big.
I guess, but like this just seems like a monumental task. I don't know how you'd be able to go through like every tweet ever. I mean, discounting like ones that get banned or whatever. Right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's still on the order of terabytes. I might be wrong. Maybe petabytes. How many tweets are there?
Let's Google there's over 1 billion users, right? So.
Yeah. Right now it looks. Oh wow. So even in 2009, it was 2.5 million tweets per day. Right now we're around. What is that number? I can't even. That's a lot of zeros. Let me figure out how many zeros that is. 500 million per day. 500 million tweets per day right now. No, wait. Sorry. This chart only goes to 2014. So it's way more than that.
Because they picked up since then.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh man.
I feel like that's way too much of a task to.
That's a good point.
Like a certain temperature, but I don't know. Like.
So the tweet has to be referenced somewhere, like on an article, maybe, for it to be archived.
Yeah, I can see those. I could see, but like, are they going to archive every single like zoo files tweets? Like, some people get left out of the equation.
Huh.
Yeah, I wonder. That kind of bit of a side note. Have you ever seen the movie Coco?
Coco, yep.
Yeah, so like I watched that recently, like a few days ago.
Yep.
That showed up because basically I didn't want to get Disney Plus, so like I'm trying to watch through all the Netflix stuff on disc. Because it's not on their streaming thing, but it is on their disc. So I watched that recently, and because what you said reminded me of that, like in the sense of like like your last thing that people remember you for.
Yeah.
Type of deal, like with whatever. Obviously, I'm sure you can see the parallels between those.
Yeah. How'd you like the movie?
Oh, dude, I loved it. Definitely top 5.
Yeah.
Films like ever, I'd say so far. Anyway, it might drop a little bit after the whole honeymoon phase of like I really like this movie.
Yeah.
There was a couple of parts I thought were weird. The like why didn't he just like why was the photo never ripped up? Was kind of weird. Especially when they got spoilers by the way for Coco.
Yeah. Oh no.
So I don't know. I'll put a timestamp in the thing to skip like when we stop talking about it. But I don't know why they didn't rip up the photo, especially when they just got like they ruined the photo anyway because it got lost. So I don't know why he didn't. That would have made way more sense. I don't know why he even cared about the photo too much. I don't know why the the guards were like chasing the lady down, but they're just walking super slowly to her the entire time.
Uh-huh.
Especially like
Whoa.
once everyone could see on stage, like the guards were there. So I don't know.
Sorry, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for a list of Pixar films, and apparently there's going to be a prequel movie about Buzz Lightyear in 2022.
Lightyear, right?
Yeah, that's really cool. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that. Toy Story 2 is definitely another one where I'd say top 5. I was looking at the list like earlier, and I was trying to figure out what my top 5 were. Like Aladdin definitely hits that list. Wreck-It Ralph hits that list. I think Coco hits that list, even though it's kind of new. The one I just said hits that list. Toy Story 2.
So their last 3 movies have been incredible, no pun intended, because The Incredibles 2 was the fourth most recent, but Toy Story 4, like that was, I think that was the best Toy Story in my opinion.
I liked it a lot. It's hard to beat 2.
Yeah, that's a good point. 2 was really good. It's classic. Onward was really good.
I haven't seen Onward or Soul. I definitely want to see Soul.
Yeah.
Onward, I'm like, yeah, maybe not type deal.
I really enjoyed Onward, so I'd recommend it. It was one of those really wholesome movies where it makes you cry.
Yeah, it was very 100 wholesome Big Chungus.
Yeah, Big Chungus.
You know, I don't know if we should do memes like that in this show. It's gonna be like it's like a year from now. They're gonna be like you're stupid.
Hey, I mean that's what the channel's about. So
yeah, that's fair enough.
Oh, I just remembered. I wonder if I'm going to be in a future Yai episode.
Oh yeah, what you responded to a tweet of his or whatever, or YouTube comment?
Jack's Films, yeah.
Yeah,
that might be interesting.
Yeah, well, Sonic made it on an episode, so now it's just,
I wonder if I should make an S memes video to try to ride the wave a little bit, like make one in advance.
Oh yeah.
For S memes. Oh, I recently changed the name to Esp, so it's just Esp now.
Ooh,
on the channel.
Memes. Like S means,
Yeah.
I don't need to start memes. It's like calling it the Los Angeles Angels. You don't need to double down on it.
Well, it matches my display name on Twitter now, but my username will still be S memes, just because those are a little annoying to change.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I had some explosive growth on my data-driven life. It went from 31 to 38 this week.
Ooh, nice.
So that's a little bit of a boost. Yeah, we're getting close to 100 on Holy Twittercast.
Yeah, I saw I hit 70 at one point, and so I subscribed on the other account, like the one I do the timestamps on.
Yep.
Which whatever, I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have to watch the damn things over and over again. What was I gonna say? I forget what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, my day-driven life. Yeah, I know you did like a Q&A thing recently with that.
Yep.
How'd that go? I wasn't there.
It went okay. There was only 3 of us there, and then like 1 or 2 people watching on average. And there was someone that raided the server and started saying the N-word over and over on stream. So that happened.
Right. Did you?
And then they were like leaving Nazi stuff in the Discord server, so we banned them. It happened twice, and then we.
Well, if it happened twice, it's probably just the same dude twice.
Yeah, it probably was the same dude twice. I have no idea who.
Got his dumb friend to be like, "Hey, dude, we're gonna raid this server. It's gonna be really funny."
It was probably someone from my F server because I advertised it there.
Ah, right. It's so douchey, man. It's
Yeah.
At least if it was like a meme channel thing, like I could understand it a bit. Like, not that it's okay to do, but like,
Yeah.
I kind of get it. But like, if it's like just some serious whatever, like you just gotta be an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
come on now.
Well, it's whatever. It's mostly my fault for not having restrictive permissions. Like, like next time I'm just gonna have it to where like people have to ask me in chat in order to like be able to speak, and then I approve it.
All right.
That way, someone can't just keep coming in the server and
Yeah, if I would have, I was busy with that day. I forget what. Yeah, if I would have, because I'm pretty sure I'm a mod in that server, so I would have banned that if I would have been there.
yeah.
But, whatever is what it is, I guess. That's how you play the. You can't play the YouTube game without running into a couple idiots.
Yeah, yeah. But the conversation was nice, I guess. We talked about AI. Yeah, we talked about AI.
Nice.
And about the movie Her. Have you ever seen the movie Her?
No, I think you mentioned it last time when we talked about AI.
Yeah. It's a really interesting movie. And and I just saw so there's this website that programmers use a lot for their news, and it's called Hacker News. And there was an article today about how we're really close to AI supremacy, and the landscape of jobs will change within the next 5 years because a lot of AI will enter the workforce. And we're talking about like digital jobs, like knowledge jobs, like like reading legal documents and giving medical advice and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a really interesting read. It's by someone called Sam Altman.
Sam Altman. It makes sense with those. I mean, those kind of seem like ones that can get automated.
Oops.
Of course, it sucks for the people with the with those jobs. They end up losing them. But at the same time, like that's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna run into that whole issue.
What other podcasts do you like?
I was trying to think through. There was there was the obviously there's two people that we've had on the podcast. There's Buzzes that only has 2 episodes so far. What is it called again?
The Weary Podcast.
If anyone heard that ping, that was B in here right now. I went through and I even muted some dude that like usually ends up accidentally like pinging me during this time. I muted him. I'm like, I'm good.
You could like just change your status to Do Not Disturb, and then you won't get the pings.
It is. Oh no, it's on idle. Oh, is that what?
Yep, I just have it on that permanently so that I don't get the pings, the audio.
Oh, that opens up a whole new world for that. All right. Well, for next episode, I'll have that sorted out. Might as well do it now. Anyway, oh fuck, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Buzz's thing.
Yeah.
What is it called again?
The Weary Podcast.
Weary, yeah. For some reason, I'm thinking Mayhem, and I was like, I know that's not right.
So that's Soundboard Mayhem, which is on our channel.
Yeah, be sure to smash that soundboard
button.
And like that, yeah, like that subscribe button.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the podcast yet. I need to.
His, yeah. Yep. I've listened to both episodes. I like them a fair bit. It's much more of a I mean, whatever, right? Because they're friends, so like they have a pretty good dynamic there. Like, they're already pretty comfortable talking around each other, and then it's like just random like talking about like they talked about like immortality.
Yep.
Got into like a serious discussion on that, which is one I'm going to steal eventually for like a later episode.
Yep.
With this series, but like okay, well, first oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong screen. But yeah, anyway, like I like those two quite a bit. I know Mooncake that we had on a previous episode of HTC has his own. I listened to the first episode. His audio is like really garbled on that first episode.
Yeah,
I heard it gets better.
Krakpot Podcast.
Yeah, Krakpot
with a K.
I like K-R-A-K.
Yeah, we're all kind of in similar numbers. It's nice. Like he's at 61.
Yeah, that's one thing that kind of surprised me a bit because he has what like 6,000-7,000 subscribers on his main.
I mean, same thing with mine. Like I have around that amount, and I haven't been able to drive significant traffic yet.
Yeah, Yeah. Actually, I guess that's a good point. Actually,
I think maybe like I feel like a lot of subscribers are there from like same with my channel, like a few videos that blew up. Like I think the Onision has overstayed his welcome channel really blew up for Mooncake and probably contributed a lot to his subscribers.
right. Ooh, dude, that's kind of cool. Okay, so when you go to the Crackpot podcast, right,
Yep.
on his on the channel, and then you click on channels, and it says like podcast hosts, and he has a list of each of the podcast hosts. It'd be kind of cool if we could do that for ours.
Oh wait, let me look. On the channels page.
Yeah, on his Crackpot podcast. Yeah,
Ah,
the
okay.
thing.
Let's do it now. Let's do it now.
It'd be cool if we could have ours so that people have an idea of like who's who in the comments,
Yeah.
or the very least, like even if we didn't do everyone, like like I don't know what Spiders is, for example. But like
Um.
you could do you, Buzz, maybe myself, Sonic if you wanted to,
Yeah.
Al if he wants to. You know what I mean? Like,
Featured sections. I don't know how to set that up, so I'll do it later.
yeah, I like that. That's the first time I've seen something like that.
Yeah.
I've seen other ones with like related channels, but
Yep.
it's pretty cool.
I need to add
Anyway,
this to my reading list.
there are other one of the podcasts that I listen to. I guess I'm gonna try to think of other podcasts. I'm sure you know who like Your Movie Sucks, Ralph the Movie Maker. I Hate Everything. You're aware of them?
Yeah. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
the channel.
Sardonicast. Usually, because a lot of the movie, I'm not much of a movie guy, so a lot of times, like the way their podcast is like the way it works is like there's an intro, like a little bit, and then maybe they talk about a little bit of news or something, right?
Hmm.
It's mainly like, oh, here's a movie that we watched. Let's talk about it. Sometimes it's two movies, or like maybe it's like a trilogy or something, right? And like they talk about these movies that they've seen, and then it goes into Q&A. Well, because I never most of the time I've never seen these movies.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll watch the intro part and then I'll cut to the Q&A because they have timestamps and everything. So I'll just
So is it the your music sucks movie sucks commentary? Is that the name of the podcast
no, the
series?
name of the podcast is called Sardonicast.
Ah, okay.
Uh,
Channels.
Sardoni and then cast.
Sardonicast. Okay.
Sardine mean.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, there's any it's just like three dudes sitting around talking about movies. So like if you're a big movie guy, it's probably gonna be your thing. I like all three of their
Oh
channels.
man. Yeah, I'm gonna
So
subscribe.
I kind of like the I like the Q&A aspect of it, like getting their ideas on just because a lot of times Q&A is more so like general, like what about this general trend? Like, how do you feel about this? Or what, have you ever had a movie that made you feel X or, whatever, right? Like, it'll be stuff like that. So I find that kind of stuff pretty interesting, even if I've never seen like movies. Like, their latest episode, for example, at least as we're recording this, is episode 81. They're talking about like this movie called, I guess, Judas and the Black Messiah and Taste of Cherry. Never heard of any of those movies. Probably never going to watch them, but like,
Yeah,
so
I haven't watched
but,
that.
like
I think I might check out their
like,
Borat one. That might be an interesting one to listen to.
yeah.
What else? Tenet. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna watch Tenet tonight before I go to sleep.
The movie?
Yeah, it's $5.99 on like the streaming platforms now, so that's cheap enough for me to want to watch it.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna watch it at like the theater price because
Right.
that's like $25 or something to watch it, like stream it at launch. But I do like this new model where new movies are coming out in theaters and coming out on streaming at the same time. Like Disney's doing it really well.
Right.
I like it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten my way to see like any like new movie in terms of streaming yet.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not really much of a guy that watches like super new movies anyway, but I do like the idea.
Well, I could do a movie. I could do a movie night on Esp memes or on MDDL or something. Or we could do one for Holy Twittercast.
Well, man, I told you we gotta do one for Kung Pao.
Oh yeah, Kung Pao. That's right. And B movie at some point.
Yeah.
We can watch everyone's movie for the script that they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, because we could probably try to get that Shrek one in at some point, hopefully before the 5th movie comes out.
You know what? We could maybe do. No, a movie is pretty long, so we'd probably want to do a separate session. I was gonna say we could do it back to back with the next HTC, but nah.
Yeah, I think that very much have to be like either we plan it on like way in advance, or it had to be like we're just feeling it that day type of thing.
Yeah. Like, yeah, we could set it up for a weekend or something. And have like whoever wants to come, not just the cast members, maybe.
Right. But for the thing I mentioned, for people that don't know, in the YouTube, it's right now anyway. Kung Pao, the movie I used to do my first tweeting account on, is free with ads on YouTube. So watch that if you haven't. It's pretty funny.
Wait, what is?
Kung Pao.
Yeah. Or watch it with us when we review it.
Yeah, if we do it that way. I don't know. I haven't really thought too much on how we want to set that up.
Yeah.
I was kind of just feeling out to see if anyone else wants to watch it first.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let me think. What other podcasts? What other podcasts?
Okay, since it's related to the other one, the one I just said, Sardonicast. I Hate Everything had his own podcast. I think he still does it. Our media.
At
least he was doing it. Have you ever watched any of that?
I Hate Everything. No.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just his friends dick around the entire time. They talk about current events stuff. At least back when I was watching it, but it's weird edits and stuff, and I don't know.
Have you ever seen Cold Ones?
Cold Ones. I feel like you mentioned it to me at some point.
So there's Hot Ones. You've heard of Hot Ones, right? The one where they eat the hot wings. So I guess that's technically a podcast. It's shorter length. It's 20 to 30 minutes, but I'd consider that a podcast.
Yes, but...
And then there's Cold Ones where it's two YouTubers that get really drunk on beer with the guest, and then they'll interview. And they interview kind of the PewDiePie, H3H3, Belle Delphine, that kind of stuff. They're in that community.
Yeah.
And so that's a fun podcast.
The idea sounds fun.
What else? There's Waveform, I think, is MKBHD. Waveform podcast. I don't really get a chance to listen to that much, but I'd like to at some point.
Yeah, what's their deal?
Oh, they're only 13 episodes in, but it's MKBHD, the tech YouTuber, Marquez Brownlee.
I've heard the name. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You've probably heard it in Rewind, because he was in Rewind 2018.
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah, it's been ages, so.
Yep. But
did they even Rewind this year?
They did not.
Did they do
it? No, they didn't.
I didn't think so. I thought they just this year sucks. Let's just
yeah.
Everyone hates our video every year, so let's just not do it.
Yep. And then Linus Tech Tips has their podcast. I forget what it's called. WAN. It's called the WAN Show. The WAN Show.
What? WAN?
Wide Area Network, like LAN.
Oh.
So yeah, they have a podcast. And then H3H3.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Because I used to watch that one.
Yep.
I think near the beginning. Then I don't know. I feel like Ethan just got more and more annoying. It's time passed, so I stopped watching him.
Yeah. He doesn't really bother me that much, so I still like it. I would watch it if I had time to watch every single podcast that I wanted to, but I just don't have that kind of time.
Dude, just do what I do and bump up the speed to 2.5 times speed.
I've started doing that. I've started doing that. Joe Rogan. Do you watch Joe Rogan?
I used to watch him when he was on YouTube. Not like a lot. Like usually, I just choose a guest that I liked.
Yeah.
So like usually maybe like 2 or 3 out of every 100 episodes, there'd be one I want.
Yeah, I'm curious. Let me look at the recent podcast on Spotify and see if anything interests me. Because really, like now it's just if it's someone that I really specifically like, then I'll watch that one now. Like I or listen to because it's Spotify, but I listened to the Lex Friedman one, the Elon Musk one, Michael Malice.
I think so. The ones I were into were usually like the comics.
Oh, okay.
Like, what is it? Like the
Stand-up comedians.
Yeah, but like Mike Birbiglia, I think his name was. Like stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
There was a couple other ones that were like like a Mike Tyson or something, right?
Yep.
Maybe if there was a specific celebrity or something, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's kind of interesting.
And then finally, I listened to Lex Friedman quite a lot. That is my favorite podcast. He'll just interview like CEOs of startups and AI people and finance people, crypto people, neuroscience people, philosophers.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Like long term, if I wanted to model a podcast after someone's podcast, it would be his.
Send me that. I might check it out later.
Yep.
But,
have you heard of Eric Weinstein?
Yeah, he's the wait, hold on. I might be thinking of someone else.
MIT physicist.
Was he a professor at like a college, or am I thinking of someone else?
Yep, he's a professor at MIT, or I think maybe now it's Harvard, but it used to be MIT. And he's like when he talks, it goes over my head by a lot. Like he talks about fundamental particles and ways to represent them in math. And it's really complex. But he's got a podcast called The Portal. And so he's like chasing after how to fundamentally represent reality and come up with nomenclature and ways to describe how matter works and gravity and all that stuff. That's what he's into. Oh, he has a interview with Vitalik. I'm gonna add that to my playlist. Vitalik is the creator, or he's an influential person in Ethereum, which is the second biggest blockchain or cryptocurrency.
You don't know who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Bret Weinstein.
Oh, okay.
His brother?
Weinstein. Bret Weinstein. I'm not familiar with him, but
it's a single T.
It seems interesting.
He also was a professor.
Oh yeah, he looks a lot like him. So that probably is his brother.
Yeah, see, that's who I'm familiar with.
Interesting. I'm gonna subscribe.
He, I guess he had some issue like where he was in a college and something, and then he got kicked out for something. It took way longer to explain than it'd be worth going into right now. But basically, something to do with like some.
Is it Jordan Peterson related?
No, well, like similar-esque type of deal. There's something about like college wanted like white students to like leave one day for showing solidarity to white students, and there's some like issue with that.
Oh, okay.
Kind of weird.
And Eric Weinstein has some kind of iffy stuff too.
I wonder if I'm thinking. I might be thinking of a I might be mixing up professors because there was another professor that had an issue with that. That might have. I don't know. There's a lot of professors, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to.
An interview a week ago with Jordan Peterson. I'm gonna add that to my playlist too.
You know what? I'm pretty sure Bret had an episode from Joe Rogan. If you wanted to watch that and get an idea.
Sure. Let me.
Because he probably talks about like what happened.
Joe Rogan, Bret, Weinstein. All right, let me add that. Let me download that. That'll be good for a future hike. There we go. Yeah, it does kind of suck that Joe Rogan went exclusive with Spotify. It makes things a little less convenient, but I still listen occasionally. I don't hold it against him like some people do.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's a smart choice, right? And eventually he's gonna end back probably on YouTube.
Maybe.
Most stuff, I imagine.
Yeah,
And
if
he
it's like a limited contract.
got money. Yeah. Yeah. I can say I wouldn't. You know, so if Spotify was like, hey, like, take your stuff off YouTube and come over here and we'll give you a fuckload of cash. Like, it's like, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Did we miss any podcasts that
Okay, so I guess to run through quick. Did you ever watch any of the Rooster Teeth podcasts at all?
no.
Okay, yeah. So there's like a couple. There's like a main one called Rooster Teeth Podcast. I never watched that one.
Okay.
There's one called Off Topic, which is the one for Achievement Hunter,
Off topic.
which that's their gaming. That's like their gaming division.
Okay.
I fell off of that for a very specific reason. I fell off of that because there was one episode where they were talking about spoilers on a show I hadn't seen.
Ah,
I forget if it was Avengers or if it was Game of Thrones. It was one of those two.
yeah.
And it took me a while to watch it. And by the time I like watched it, like I was just way the hell behind. like,
Yeah.
like I stopped watching about episode like 90 something, somewhere around there, 80 some. I'd watch it week to week, and then like I fell behind. It's really hard to be like, okay, time to watch 30 episodes of
They're
like a 2 hour long podcast.
yeah, they're like the way they dress and their set just reminds me of G4 TV kind of.
I know they had to pivot the way they did things because they used to do it like in person all the time,
Yeah.
like around this actual like table, and of course COVID kind of screwed that one up.
Yep.
They had to change that up. Likewise, I imagine the drinking one's probably different too. There's another one called Always Open, and it's some of the women of Rooster Teeth do that, Barbara Dunkelman and a couple others. And not that it's like women exclusive, but like a lot of times it is.
Mm-hmm.
But and I liked that one quite a bit too. I used to watch quite a bit of that, and then I think they took a break for a bit, and then I never caught back up.
Yeah.
When it came back. Like that's but I really liked that one quite a bit. It's just like people would send in questions to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just obviously as a man, you know, it's just interesting to hear different perspectives on like dating and you know like sex life and general feelings and stuff. You know, just from a different perspective. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, what were you gonna say?
I didn't have anything to say.
Why the hell are you talking? So yeah, there's those ones. Is there any podcasts that like you've listened to and you're like, I don't like this? Like anyone that sticks out in your head?
Not really.
Because if you don't like one, I suppose it probably just goes to the wayside. You're like, eh, whatever, who cares?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't come across any that I don't like really.
Long form YouTube.
Except Holy Twittercast.
Yeah, fuck those guys. I don't know. There's that one dude that is on there that is pretty cute. They haven't done much.
Hmm.
Not the children. I guess I should specify.
Cancelled.
Yeah, right. Because I didn't think about that at first, but then I was like, oh wait, like maybe. Like, obviously, I'm referring to myself as the joke, but like, I forgot the real children on that one. Maybe not cut them off the list. There's like another. There's a podcast I've heard of, and I just haven't taken time to listen to it called Ducktalks. And it's like a podcast about Ducktales. There's like several podcasts like that where they'll be like popular podcasts, and they kind of get like insider info.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's very niche.
Yeah. Because it's like a lot of those podcasts are pretty like super family friendly, safe, and they never have a bad opinion about, you know what I mean?
There was supposed to be a B movie podcast that someone was working on, but I don't think anything ever came of it. I'm in the Discord for it. They were planning to make one, B movie podcast. That's what it was going to be called. But yeah, I don't see anything about it. I see a post in the server from Matt Jerkhole from Twitter.
Nice name.
Yeah. I see. So there's a couple podcast hosts, but this person's called Bareth B. Ballin.
Nice. I suppose with podcasts, it's probably just because like getting that first one out, it's just like
it
feels like such a monumental task to like get everyone together and no one's on the same page type of thing. It's like you just gotta do it. You just gotta jump in and do it.
Yep. There's a huge startup cost. And then the other person on Discord is called Benito Fazzolini.
You guys are really charming folks, it sounds like. There was another when I was talking about the other one, I remembered another podcast, but then I forgot it again. It was like one I'd seen.
Yeah, so there's apparently stuff going on in the podcast date channel, but I don't have permissions to view message history.
Ooh. Tisk. Wait, you can see the channel and you can like see it, like type in it, but you can't see the history?
Well, I can see that there's notifications that I haven't seen.
Oh, okay. It's interesting. It's weird permissions, and if you can get in there but can't see, unless they posted things and then delete them.
Yeah, usually you just make the channel private if you want to do that, but I've seen it in a few places.
That's just worse though, because then it's like, now it's like tantalizing. Well, because now it's like tantalizing. Like now I know it's there. You can't see it. Like that's like a.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
here, let me.
It's like, we put a really cool pony on the other side of this thing, but you don't get to ride it.
Let me send you an invite to the server. That way they're like, oh, wow, we have new members of the server. We should... Now we're more motivated to make the podcast.
6, B-movie discussion, B-movie buzzers.
Oh, look, the podcast host came online. Now they're going to be super motivated.
He came online probably because he's like, what the hell?
Yep.
I just got a ping that someone like, what is this? Last post was from like 2008.
Yeah. Yeah. What the hell?
I guess there's one post from the 26th.
Okay. September. What was it? June 2019. I guess this is dead. And then they replied, I can assure you that it is not. We know that we've put it off for some time, but it is coming within the next 2 weeks.
Oh man, that's rough.
Oh man. All right. Well,
yeah, dude, you ever seen that in projects before, where it's like
I've seen that in my projects.
Yeah, dude. You know one recently I was feeling that with.
Who?
Was, Your Favorite Martian, Ray William Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Baker Studios completely like was trying to screw him on the money aspect.
Yeah.
From what I've been told, and so that Winter album never got made because he didn't want to give up like complete creative control and yada yada.
Finally, someone else who knows who Ray William Johnson is.
Yeah, right.
He's 39 years old.
Yeah, I saw he was like doing stuff for like Facebook for a bit.
Yeah.
It seems like, I don't know. He seems like he's doing all right. It is a shame that he won't go back and do more music, but it's like, whatever. At least he kept the music up there, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like I did watch Equals 3 a bit, but there was definitely a phase where I was watching Equals 3 for like a couple months. But
oh wow, I did not realize he had Robin Williams on Equals 3.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
That must have been like a couple of years before he died.
Yeah, probably. Let me see.
Died probably isn't the right way to put it.
Let me see if I can search for Equals 3 on his IMDb. Yeah, it's not showing on IMDb.
Yeah. Okay. Were you there when he changed hosts?
Equals 3. Yeah, I was there.
That was a shit show, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I liked the new host kind of, but I'm sure a lot of people didn't.
All right, but like it's hard to like you have an expectation for a show and it just like completely gets
Yeah, that would be
it does.
like if
It's
we
like
handed off Holy Twittercast to some unrelated people.
right. Actually, I think we might have a better chance just because there's like 8 different.
Oh, good point. Good point. We
Yeah,
slowly phase people out, kind of like it'll be the Holy Twittercast cinematic universe.
right. Where we all make our own little side stuff.
Bring back
Um,
and then like B dies, and then we bring a new B up on and like do a reboot series.
we, we do what we did with Buzz, or we replace Lego.
Yeah.
Then we
Oh,
replace B with Esp.
imagine in the future if we had our own team of editors and we'd make this like video featuring all the characters from the podcast, and like we did like motion capture. That would be interesting.
Yeah, pretty fun. There was
Huh.
one. There's like
I do kind of the concept of VTuber, where it's like an anime character attached to some kind of camera tracking.
yeah.
I kind of want to do something like that long term for the Esp channel, but it wouldn't be anime themed. It would be more like trying to create a character that looks very much like me,
Oh yeah.
or maybe the ideal me.
Some people do that. I know. Okay, so you know who Team 4-Star is?
Team 4-Star, no.
Okay, the people that do like Dragon Ball Z Abridged. I think one of the creators of that, Takahata 101. I'm pretty sure he does VTubing, and I think he based it off his own. It might be based off an anime character. I'm not sure, but
Okay,
like it's more of a realistic person than it is like it's kind of an animized kind of version of himself. I think.
okay.
Or like for example, I guess Jax Films. Like have you seen the Jax Films one?
Yeah, the Jax Films VTuber thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But like like if I were to do my own podcast on the Esp channel, which is kind of unlikely at this point because I'm not really making that much money from Esp.
Yeah.
I'm making like $5 a month right now.
Yeah, because half your videos get monetized.
Yep, the really popular ones get demonetized, and then the ones where I'm doing stuff that's copyright safe, those don't get a lot of engagement. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm pivoting. I'm pivoting pretty hard. So like after I hire a second editor for MDDL, I'm gonna have it to where editors can work on any of the channels that I own. Or that's the goal. Like share the editors among all my channels. Maybe have some people dedicated to a certain channel.
So depending, like I feel like certain people, like I guess say like a Buzz would probably be more, with the crazy edits for like a soundboard man type of deal.
Yeah,
More useful for like a.
yeah. So maybe I can shift editors around or something.
Obviously, you've had Buzz work on some of the MDDL. I didn't remember the acronym there for a second.
Wow.
You had him work on 4 networks like pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, I just gave him a ton of B-roll footage and A-roll footage for a video, so can't wait for that to come out.
Nice.
This
I'm
time
trying to think
I went. Oh,
from right here. Sorry, not to cut you off, but like I'm trying to sit here racking my brain about what podcast was I thinking of like 5 minutes ago, and I just cannot for the life of me remember. Sorry. Anyway, you continue what you're saying.
oh no. I was gonna say yeah. For the next video, I went hiking and took a bunch of video. I went hiking along the coast. So like there's a bunch of rocks and had to climb over a bunch of like rocks. And that was fun.
Hardcore.
Yeah, next time I want to attach a POV camera to my forehead or something, or my head.
Yeah, like the what was that, GoPro or whatever?
GoPro. Yeah, well, it'll probably be like I have a mount for my phone that attaches to my head, so it'll be a DIY GoPro. But next time I do it, I'm gonna record that. But yeah, that was That was towards the end of my acid trip.
Oh, I remember. I remember now what the other podcast is going to be. It's one of the cartoon reviewers on YouTube. His name's Pizza Party.
Pizza Party.
And it's the channel name's called Rebel Taxi, but his character is called Pan Pizza. It's
Interesting.
the Pizza Party podcast.
Pizza Party.
It's just a bunch of cartoon news, pretty much for the most part, like animation in general. But so if you're into like, hey, I want to sit here and listen to someone talk for like 20 minutes about Courage the Cowardly Dog or something, be like, yep.
Okay, so it's not about food?
No. Yeah, I don't know what the deal with the pizza thing is.
Okay.
I'm sure there's some weird lore thing about that, but I can't be bothered to.
Yeah, I don't think I could listen to a food podcast. I'd get too hungry.
That'd be pretty good. Just dude, food ASMR that has to exist somewhere.
Oh yeah. Food ASMR definitely exists. My ex listened to that a lot.
Oh yeah, nice.
I didn't mind it too much. It's okay, but I mean, it doesn't. It's not like I'm not gonna like be like I'm having a nice Tuesday evening. I'm gonna go watch some food ASMR.
Just hearing the sizzling.
Yeah, that's not for me.
I wouldn't either.
I don't really listen to music either. Really.
Hey, you know what?
I don't really listen to music either.
It's so disappointing.
Unless there's LSD involved, then I'll listen to music.
Dude, I do music with like everything. Like if this wouldn't get us DMCA striked, I'd be listening to music right now.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough.
When I'm playing video games, unless it's like if I have to watch something where I'm paying attention and like I need to like not be in the way, like I'll turn it off. But like if it's anything like even remotely, like I can, like I don't need like super focused attention, like I'm playing music.
Yeah.
Or I'm playing like one of these like 20 YouTube videos I have to watch per day.
Yeah. I'm either working my way through videos that I'm interested in watching, or I'm listening to educational stuff like podcasts.
You're obviously listening to this then because this is the most educational podcast.
I feel sorry for anyone that's still listening.
Yeah, right. Oh, okay. So I'm looking through all my YouTube subscriptions right now to try to see like podcasts. I know I've linked a couple of his videos before. ProZD.
ProZD. Yep.
He's released a podcast like a while back. He's on I guess his 18th episode.
Interesting.
I watched a couple of those. Like I watched the one with his wife. I think there was one by himself, and then there's like one with. There's like one other one I watched too.
It's called ProZD and Pals.
Yeah. Yes, I guess if you're into like I mean it's probably more so like if you like his stuff, and I'm sure he probably talks about voice acting stuff as well.
Yeah, I like his voice acting stuff. I guess for this podcast I'd probably only watch it if it was someone that I really watch a lot. It looks like he's interviewed Freddie Wong.
Yeah, so like I said, I've only watched like maybe two or three podcast videos.
Yeah,
like I watched the one with his wife, like I said, and then there's like another one.
Oh, and he's interviewed Critical.
Yeah,
Lily Pichu.
I watched Erica Lindbeck. She's another voice actor. I watched that one as well.
I don't recognize that name. Brian David Gilbert is good. He's got a YouTube channel, and he's also on The Verge, I think. It might be The Verge. It might be something else.
I mean, let me double check on what she does.
Brian David Gilbert. Yeah, he's got some really creative videos.
She does a bunch of anime stuff.
Oh, he works for Polygon. That's what he works for. Yeah, Polygon.
She has to do more than that. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what the hell she's done.
Huh.
Oh, she does Luna for Hell of a Boss. That's why I really recognize
they
it.
they have a video about the sexy tall vampire, and the thumbnail says "she big." I'm adding that to my playlist.
Nice.
And is Cyberpunk 2077 wet enough?
I think it is. If I had to really double down and check.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the one with Aaron Hansen. I can't believe I haven't seen that one yet. All right, well, I'm gonna watch that later or listen to that later. Okay, so yeah, there's that one. I guess one of the other big ones I watch. So it's kind of hard, like, because like you start blending, like, is this really a podcast or is this just like a show?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to like the lines kind of blur after a while. Like there's a, I imagine you might have heard this guy before, Amazing Atheist, TJ Kirk.
I've heard of Amazing Atheist. I don't
Yeah.
really watch him.
So him and a couple of his buddies have a channel called Deep Fat Fried, which is just a podcast. Like one of the recent ones, it's just they're pretty big on Patreon actually. One of the biggest things on Patreon, but they're talking about like the biggest product fails.
Yep.
And so it's a preview for like like, hey, you want to see the rest? Go to the Patreon. Like they're talking about the fact that like Coca-Cola was like getting beat out by Pepsi in like blind taste tests, so they freaked out and they like messed with their recipe and stuff like that. And then there's been plenty of other ones in the past, like serial killers or like different types of fast food or like it's just a bunch of random like stuff like diseases, the Black Plague, certain wars. Like it was just they just did one on fast food mascots.
So it's not
Paranormal.
strictly on like atheism, but it's kind of topics that are atheists are interested in.
So this is on a different channel too, which probably helps. But when it comes to like the channel itself, it's called Deep Fat Fred.
Yep.
Actually, TJ, this is his name, TJ Kirk. He actually has a podcast on his Amazing Atheist channel as well called Abandoned Hope. But yeah, a lot of he doesn't do a lot of atheist content anymore, mainly because like he's like done a bunch of it, right? So it's like
there's not much to talk about.
Right. Well, it's like because most people, like most religious people, will have like similar arguments, and in the same way that most atheists will have like similar rebuttals, right?
Yep.
It's kind of after a while, it's like how much can I like what this person repackages this argument slightly different, but it's like still the same exact argument.
Yep.
Like how many videos are you gonna make about it? Like he doesn't do nearly as much atheist content anymore, but
yeah, he does a lot of political content.
Oh yeah, a lot. Like that's in the entire channel.
Yeah. I think my favorite atheist YouTuber is Jacqueline Glenn. I don't know if you've heard of Jacqueline Glenn.
I've heard the name.
She had a big beef. Oh wait, she had a big beef with Onision before Onision was canceled.
That might be a way I know it then.
Because I think she used to date Onision. I'm not sure about that 100%, but they did have a lot of beef on YouTube. Like he'd make a video, she'd make a video responding, he'd make a video back.
Yeah, buddy, reply wars, have fun.
Yep. Get that advertising revenue.
Onision.
Oh yeah, and Chris Hansen has a YouTube channel.
Yeah, Chris Hansen. Okay, so that one's kind of weird. For two reasons. One, like, because he kind of screwed up the Onision case a bit, from what I've heard. Something about like evidence wasn't handled properly, which held him get out. Like,
yeah, that rings a bell.
The laptop got like there was like a laptop that they could have used, but then because the evidence got tampered with, they weren't able to use it.
Oh man, his podcast is heavily downvoted. It's like in the 33%.
Yeah, people aren't really liking him too much these days. I don't know if it's just because of that. I did remember I was watching because he brought back like a Hansen versus Predator type thing.
Yeah.
And I think he only has 2 episodes out right now. He might have more, but I've definitely seen at least 2 episodes of it. The second episode was really like the first episode was really good. Like it's like these guys are Predator. Like the editing on it kind of sucked. In the sense that like there's like a part that played twice. Like, it was very like not like professionally done at all. But like the content's good. Like yeah, okay, they caught a they caught a predator. Good.
Yeah. So so it looks like the recent controversy is just that he's being too much of a boomer. Like anyone that makes any commentary about him on Twitter, he blocks them even if it's positive commentary.
Yeah. Let me. Does it play it? What?
But yeah, I did enjoy the original To Catch a Predator series. That was
it did
fun to watch.
Too. There was a one of the recent, like, I don't know if it was a recent episode, or I don't know if it was the latest episode he did, but one of the episodes he did on the whole Predator thing he was doing
Yep.
was like, it was like this, what was it? It was like an 18-year-old kid, but like with like a 16-year-old or something.
Yep.
Like, no, it was like a very small age gap.
Uh-huh.
Like really like this guy does not seem like he's actually like a predator against children. Like
So
the girl was like 15 or something, maybe.
yeah. So basically, call me Carlson.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it was a high school difference.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's really frustrating because it's like the whole point of that is like, because I think it was like because like, oh, there's underage photos, right?
Yep.
Even if they're like really close together in age, like that doesn't matter because the law is law.
Yep.
Like the idea of like, I guess like arresting him is one thing, which like still is kind of a little shady to me. But like, you're gonna like post it all over like YouTube and stuff. Like we're gonna shame this dude into like he's some sort of, like, he's not a pedophile.
Yep.
The person's like right near his age.
Yep.
It's like, come on, like, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that really frustrated me because it's like the like law is wasting its. I feel like wasting its time on stuff like that. When it's like, we're obviously not catching all the predators because there's just not enough manpower, you know. So it's like, to waste like limited resources on something like that is just like really frustrating. Did disconnect?
Disconnect. Wait, what?
Oh, okay. Sorry, like it's like all audio cut out there for a second.
Oh.
So I wasn't.
Yeah, well, I think we talked about a bunch of podcasts. There are two in particular. Well, there are four in particular that people should be watching. First of all, the Wary Podcast by Buzz, Krakpot Podcast by Moocake, the Holy Twitter Cast by us, and then this show right here. So smash that subscribe button.
Yep. Hell yeah. We should probably link the Moocake episode.
The Moocake episode. Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. Do we want to link the episodes, or do we want to like? I mean, because we're probably not going to link all the podcasts we talked about. That'd be insane.
We can at least link the Buzzes and Moocake's.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, people we know.
Linked, you have to show up as a guest on our show if you want it linked.
Yep.
So that's what you get.
Yep. We will promote your podcast if you become a guest.
There's content, and we'll give you the very small exposure we have currently.
Yes.
I think that's a fair trade.
Yeah. So enjoy the 2 views that we will send your way.
It'll be us, the people that make. If you want to be the audience, it'll just be us.
It'll just be networking. It'll be networking. Yeah.
I mean, dude, it kind of feels that way.
Yep.
A bit. Like, it's like, Buzz is doing his own thing. You were doing your own thing. Like,
and there will be synergy between all of our channels.
Luke's kind of doing his own thing. Like, it's kind of weird because like part of it's like, yeah, we'll support our stuff, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want it to be like where we all feel like we have to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to have some variety.
Like, like, for example, if it's like, oh, I like Buzz was doing a question thing for his podcast, and it's like, I almost thought about making a joke real quick about like, something like, I don't know, Lego or something, right? But it's just like, no, dude, like, let them have their own thing. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
I think I submitted something. I submitted to Moocake's podcast because they wanted questions. Or no. They wanted ideas for topics, and I said, Fortnite, cringe or not? Or no, TikTok, cringe or not?
Dude, speaking of cringe, yeah, do you remember who I posted in the Discord? On his first episode, he's talking about like, they talk about Pokemon at some point.
Yeah.
Then he's talking about the fact that he was on our podcast. He's like, I was just on a podcast recently.
Oh, wow.
One of their members like was in the Pokemon server and got banned within like a minute or something.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Remember that thing? I don't remember who got banned out of that group though. I don't remember which one of us got banned. I know it wasn't me. I'm pretty sure it wasn't you. I feel like it was either Al or Sonic.
Owl, I think. maybe,
Sorry,
or
Alex
Spider,
Shrek. I felt
or
like it
Shrek.
was,
Yeah, that sounds right.
but I wasn't sure. But I thought it was really funny because obviously, I'm just listening to it. It's like, I know what he's talking about.
Yep.
He should have said the name of the podcast, you son of a bitch. Nah, it's fine, whatever. But yeah, I just need to watch more of that. Like, it's just hard because there's so much video stuff.
Yep.
Finally able to get through because I had Twitch stuff on the backlog too. Like there was a Lamb,
Oh wow.
Another episode where we interviewed a guest. He was playing Simpsons Hit and Run, and I needed to catch up on that. And then Doug Walker from Nostalgia Critic was doing Kingdom Hearts playthrough. He still is actually.
Oh man, you sure consume a lot of content.
Oh yeah, a lot, yeah. Dude, yeah, it's like
the content.
you see why,
the content creators. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's a blessing and a curse, right? To have like sped up content because it's like, oh, I'll speed it up and so I could watch more and get done quicker. But then I add more stuff on my plate.
Yep.
It's like, damn it, I'm back to square one.
Yep. Basically the way I watch YouTube is if I'm not going to watch that video right away, I just save it to a playlist and then I'll watch it later. And my playlist has like hundreds, if not thousands, of videos now.
Yeah.
Of a backlog.
Well, even just in the span of like I was sitting here, like, what do I have? I have the other 11 episodes. Oh yeah, see, in the Krakpot Podcast just released a new episode 11 hours ago.
Oh nice. What number are they on right now?
On 12.
Nice.
I only watched the one.
Nice.
But
I think we've got a good variety of content on our channel so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's enough to where there's like enough weird series where people could watch, like I don't know. I mean, Soundboard is a little bit off in the sense that like it just takes a long time to edit.
Yeah.
So.
Once we see our first kind of spike in like subscribers, that'll be a significant thing because then we're kind of reaching beyond our network. Because right now, like a good portion of our subscribers is basically our network of friends and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it is, man. Just keep going consistently, and something's bound to.
Yep.
Show up, I guess.
Yep.
I don't know where. And if not, whatever. It's fun to do at least.
Yep.
So anyone else listening out there, tell us your favorite podcasts in the comments below. And if you don't say our podcast, then you're banned from the channel.
Banned from the channel. And the Discord. And blocked on Twitter.
Yeah, specifically blocked on Twitter. You don't get to be part of the holy Twitter cast and not be a Twitter.
Yeah, we're logging into the holy Twitter cast account to block you.
Yeah. Be sure to leave your name and your number so we can call your house and harass your mother.
Make sure you leave your IP address so we can IP ban you as well.
And dox. And DDoS you both. We here on the Holy Twittercast do not condone the illegal acts of whatever.
Unless it's funny.
Yeah. Well, we don't condone them, but if they happen, then
it's hilarious. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say no.
Just as a disclaimer, I was joking.
Just as a disclaimer, it's funny, but it's not right. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive.
It's only,
they can both be true.
It's only the concept that's funny, but actually doing it, that's not funny.
Depends on the person, I guess. Not just kidding. All right. Let's just end it, I guess. Oh wait, no, hold on. Damn it, that's the holy. Dude, I always when I treat you